this Heat roster, adding Tucker too, just feels really complete, Chris. Like they still gonna add some minimum guys, to round out the bench, but this feels like a really deep, complete roster overall.
My first inclination is to say that the story of the opening of free agency was the Miami Heat. Do you agree with this? I mean, yes. They signed Butler to the max. They signed Kyle Lowry, who was kind of the big fish in what was not a massive free agent class. They re-signed Duncan Robinson. And then the surprise of the night, adding P.J. Tucker, which nobody really saw coming, and there wasn't really a connection there. But the Heat are probably at top of mind and a team that seriously, I think, moved the needle for themselves for the upcoming season.
100%. I mean, I think you nailed it there, Chris. Part of the worry was that who would they be losing to make all this happen? Would they have to lose Duncan Robinson? No, the answer was no. That they are able to return one of the best shooters in basketball now, who can be in a backcourt with a point guard and Kyle Lowry, who it's not like Heat culture needs any more toughness and grit from Lowry and Tucker, but them having that kind of organically the way they play and bringing it there, in addition to other stuff. Lowry isn't just a guy who takes charges or drives to the basket or facilitates. He's a really good shooter himself, both off the catch, off the dribble, coming off screens, regardless of the action. So for Eric Spoelstra now, Miami's half-court offense so often ran stagnant in past couple of years. But now with Kyle Lowry, they're going to have a level of creativity they didn't have before. And you factor in the possibility of Bam Adebayo getting a little bit better, continuing to extend his jump shot range. If you factor in, Tyler Hero, after struggling as a sophomore, getting back on track to what he did during his rookie season during that bubble run, maybe Tyler Hero takes a mini leap as well. This Heat roster, adding Tucker too, just feels really complete, Chris. Like they still gonna add some minimum guys, to round out the bench, but this feels like a really deep, complete roster overall.
Well, and we are going to see who is sacrificed, but we were talking about Duncan Robinson. You wondered, especially during the season, does it cost you Tyler Hero? Maybe, who I know had a down second year, but certainly I and many others still have belief in. Didn't cost you Robinson, didn't cost you Hero. Probably cost you, Kendrick Nunn?
And it could cost Nunn, yeah.
Okay. That's
Which
it.
You're okay with because you got Kyle Lowry.
Right? And and Dragic. We'll see what happens.
And Precious Achiuwa had to go back to Toronto as well in the deal.
That's right. So, we'll see what happens with them with losing a couple of guys. But, all in all, you look at their roster, and if I'm throwing out, and let's just say I have Robinson as my fifth guy or Hero as my fifth guy, whatever, but I'm throwing out there Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, P.J. Tucker, and Bam Adebayo. Good luck.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, you might win, but you'll be beat up, and it's not going to be fun. Right?
Well, and that's the thing.
It's Rottweilers.
You don't know if that team's going to be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets, with whatever, looking way ahead to the playoffs here.
Right,
you don't know, playoff series is so hard to project right now. These rosters aren't done. There'll be more moves made this offseason. There'll be more moves made during the season. But this Heat team, it's a given that they will be tough, whether they win a series or they lose in 5 or 6. This team is built, top to bottom to be a tough out. And that Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler backcourt, I would assume team chemistry is going to be at a high level too with those two guys.
Yes.
they're BFFs. So Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler playing together, that's going to add some nice balance to that Heat offense too. Instead of always, needing Butler to be an initiator, sometimes maybe he can be a finisher. And not only that, we could see with Bam Adebayo having the ability to handle the ball and create the way he does, there's some room for some real positionless basketball here with the Heat, with using Lowry as a screener, Butler as a screener, guys being interchangeable in different positions on the floor. The Heat could suddenly look from a stagnant offense at times in the half court to a pretty dynamic one just because of the piece in Kyle Lowry that was added.